Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Modi. Today I'm bringing you a new video collaboration, but before I start with that, I wanted to thank you all for 50 subscribers. I know it doesn't seem like much to some people, but to me that is a big number, and I just love that I have that much already. And for anybody new or still following me, thank you, and I hope you enjoy this video and future ones to come. Thanks. And so, without further ado, I present my top 10 most anticipated games of 2013. Number 10. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. For anyone who loves fighting games and hasn't played a Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm game, really needs to get off their ass and go buy one or rent one or something. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm, or at least the ones I've played, are amazing. I've played the first one, the second one, and Generations, and I had a couple of the original Ultimate Ninjas, and they were all by far some of the greatest fighting games I've ever played. It's definitely up there with the Dragon Ball Z and Mortal Kombat and all that stuff for me. Just the story, for all fighting games, the story follows the original book or show or movie or whatever it's based off of originally, which is obviously a predictable storyline. However, the way that it is put together in all these fighting games is just amazing. The directors of the games really know how to mix the fighting element of the game with the storyline of the original show or whatever it was originally before the game. And that is why Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 is in my top 10 and is number 10 on my list. Number 9. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. Something about the Tom Clancy games has always had a place in my heart. From the original Vegas games to some of the original Splinter Cell games. I, for one, have never played all of the Splinter Cells. I've more been of a Vegas fan, but this game, Splinter Cell Blacklist, looks phenomenal. The graphics are superb, and looks like they couldn't even run on an Xbox 360. The gameplay looks very smooth. It kind of looks like a mix of Ghost Recon and Gears of War, which both are really great games of mine as well, and I love both. So hopefully that love for both those games will help me love this game even more. I have high hopes for this game. I'm hoping it turns out really good. Conviction was really nice. I never got to play all of it, but from what I played, it was amazing, and I expect no less from this. Number 8. So, my number 8 is Destiny, and the reason why that this isn't any higher is because it is so unknown right now at this point in time. Bungie is the creator of it, and as we all know, Bungie created one of the most acclaimed series of all time known as Halo, which now belongs to 343. Bungie created something so successful that I have no doubt in my mind they'd be able to achieve twice. The only reason, as I said before, this made 8th is because no one knows about it. All we know is that it's going to have multiple sequels over a span of, I believe, 10 years. I could be wrong, but who knows. I am excited because from what they claim, these graphics are going to be amazing. And I sadly don't have any, like I said before, there's nothing known. So I have no gameplay or no screenshots of it, just a picture of the name of the game with Bungie's logo. So that's pretty much it for that game. We'll find out more when it comes out, and that's what I'm really excited about. Number 7. Crysis III. So, Crysis is a really big place in my heart. I played it since the first one, back when a company known as Crytek was in control of that game series until EA bought it off of them, or EA bought Crytek. I don't know what exactly happened there, but now EA has Crysis. And with Crysis 2 was amazing. And this game looks like it'll be even better. The graphics look even better than before. The gameplay looks smoother. The enemies look a hell of a lot cooler. And the weapons, especially the crossbow, that crossbow is going to be sick to use. But overall, this game just looks amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on it later on this year. Number 6. Battlefield 4. So, I am looking forward to this game, and I'm also not. One of the reasons is because Battlefield 3 disappointed me a lot on Xbox, and Xbox is my main console. I also play PC, but I prefer to play on Xbox because all my friends play it. And when I got it, you know, it was okay. The graphics were alright for Xbox, and the gameplay was smooth. But there was some server lag at the beginning, and it was a very glitchy and buggy game on the consoles. So after a while, EA eventually decided, hey, let's make it so the fans can hold their own dedicated servers, and we're not going to hold our own anymore. So now when you go on a server on the Xbox version of the game, you go into people who bought a server, or rented it out actually, and play on their servers, and they can just kick you whenever they want, for any reason at all. They can just kick you. So if you kill them in the game, and if they're all butthurt about it, they can kick you from it. And that just completely ruined it for me. It was the last straw, and I haven't touched my Battlefield 3 because of that. So I'm really hoping Battlefield 4 will fix some of these flaws, and I'm also hoping it'll come out in the next Xbox. If it comes out before the current new Xbox comes out, I'm gonna get it for PC because I think I've learned my lesson with Battlefield on Xbox. Number 5, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. I've been a fan of Tomb Raider since as long as I can remember. When I first played it back on the PS1 days, I loved it. I would always spend hours on my PS1 just playing Tomb Raider over and over again. Of course, I would get stuck on most of the games, but that's because I had a very stupid mind. You know, looks like a lot of little kids do when they play older people's games. I haven't played very many of the recent ones yet. Like, I don't think I've played Underworld. I've seen other people play it, but I've never played it. And I don't really know what's going on with the whole Tomb Raider thing, like if it's going downhill or not. But from what I've seen at E3 and all that cool stuff about Tomb Raider, it looks like a pretty sick game. It looks kind of like Uncharted, and I think Uncharted is pretty cool. So, can't wait to get my hands on it. It looks like it's going to be sick, and hopefully it does live up to the anticipation that a lot of people are giving it. So, yeah, definitely can't wait for this one. Number 4, Amnesia, a machine for pigs. If you're someone like me who loves scary games, and you've asked someone, hey, what's your favorite scary game you've ever played? I'm gonna bet you that at least 80% of the people you ask will say Amnesia. Amnesia was one of the most scariest games that I've ever played in my entire life. It's not even, there's no real jump scares to it like most games that claim to be the most scariest games are nowadays. But it's more of the suspenseful action of the environment around you. You're being pursued by monsters that look like, they're not even scary, they're just so out of the ordinary that they make you want to shit your pants. Anyway, for Amnesia 2, or A Machine for Pigs, it's going to take place way farther into the future than the first one takes place. I think the first one's in like the 1600s, and this one is in like 1889 or something like that. And technology is obviously a little bit more advanced, and that's going to play a key role into the second one, from what I've heard. So hopefully we'll get to see some cool new innovative stuff for the second one, and hopefully get the shit scared out of me, because, you know, that's what a horror game's for, after all. And yeah, that's definitely one on my list. Can't wait to play it. Number 3, Aliens Colonial Marines. So I've been watching the Alien movies since I was a little kid. My mom would watch them all the time, and I would always sit down next to her and watch them. It was one of my mom's favorites, and it's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. And when it comes to the video games, I used to play some of the original video games, not way back when on the NES and stuff, but for the PlayStation and stuff like that. And I've definitely loved them all. I could never finish some of them because, you know, I was a little young and I was scared to finish them. And definitely can't wait for this one. When playing Aliens vs. Predator, which is a different series of Alien, that one, I loved that game. The one that was made by Rebellion a couple of years back, it was great. Playing as humans was amazing. It put so much suspense on you, and when you did confront one of the aliens, it felt like it felt awesome because in such a fast-paced situation, and you had to think on your feet. You know, should I destroy it with throwing a grenade? Should I shoot it to death? And you can't get too close because it'll bleed all over you. You know, period everywhere.
Winner,
but
right?
you know, it's just awesome, and I can't wait because I'm hoping to get that same feel from this one. And now that it's specifically focused on the humans and the aliens instead of all three of them with the Predator, it's gonna be pretty nice, and I just can't wait. It's gonna be sick. Number 2, Dead Space 3. Back onto the scary video game topic again. Dead Space, the Dead Space series has been one of my favorite horror, survival horror video game series out there. When it comes next to Amnesia, I do like Amnesia a little bit more when it comes to the horror, but when it comes to the action, definitely Dead Space is going to tower over Amnesia. I've loved the action in Dead Space. Dead Space 2 especially, because you got to, Isaac Clarke, which is the main protagonist of the game, was very aggressive and very passionate when he would attack his opponents, attack the creatures that he fought against. And being so, it has the survival horror elements to it too, because you got some of the scares and running low on ammo at times where you need it the most, and health and stuff like that. And putting all that together into Dead Space, what is Dead Space, is amazing. And anybody who definitely hasn't played Dead Space definitely needs to if they're into survival horror. And Dead Space 3, I have no doubt in my mind, will be just as great as its predecessors, especially with co-op now. That's going to be great. And the way they innovated it into Dead Space and gave both players their own story, even though they are playing side by side. So that's going to be really neat to see, and definitely can't wait to try that out. And finally, last but not least, my number 1 most anticipated game for 2013 is Gears of War Judgment. So, Gears of War Judgment made number 1 on my list for the most anticipated games in 2013. And the reason why that is because I've been a huge Gears of War fan for the last at least 3-4 years now. I first played Gears of War on the PC when it was ported onto the PC from the Xbox, and I was hooked on it. Loved Gears of War. I played the crap out of it when I first got it on PC. And once I got my own Xbox, I got Gears of War 1 and 2 for it. I didn't like the fact that Gears of War 2 sucked donkey nuts online, but the multiplayer, the campaign was definitely worth buying the game for. And the third one had a great start. I mean, right now it's definitely downhill, but when it came out, it was just great. Gears of War 3 was just amazing, and I really can't wait for Judgment. And there are going to be dedicated servers coming back, so hopefully they'll be able to add a little bit more spice into the Gears of War Judgment from Gears of War 3, and they can redeem some fans back, because some of the fan base isn't really happy with Epic. And with Rod Ferguson and Cliff Bleszinski leaving, a lot of people are definitely a little on edge with this game. But I think it'll do all right, and I am giving it my number 1 spot and trusting it with it. And if it fails, oh well, that's my fault. But we'll wait and see. And I definitely, whether it's gonna fail or not, I'm still waiting for it. So definitely can't wait to play it. And that, my friends, was my top. And I hope you all enjoyed my top 10 most anticipated games of 2013. If you liked it, please rate, comment, maybe subscribe. If not, that's totally alright with me. I just hope that you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed making it. Peace out, guys, and thanks again for 50 subscribers. Love you all.